Hollywood icon whose allure continues to mesmerize audiences in 2024. Marilyn Monroe's life was marked by profound sorrow, and at least 3 pregnancies prior to her untimely death in 1962. Delving into her tumultuous relationships with figures like Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller reveals a complex tapestry of love and heartache. Each relationship brought its own challenges, shaping her experiences and emotional landscape. The pregnancies, often shrouded in secrecy and speculation, add another layer to her story, highlighting her struggles with motherhood and the societal pressures of her time. As we uncover the latest insights into her life, we aim to dismantle the myths surrounding her persona. By examining her journey through love, loss, and legacy, we gain a deeper understanding of the woman behind the glamorous facade, illuminating the trials she faced and the indelible marks she left on the world. At the age of 16, Marilyn Monroe, then known as Norma Jean Baker, fell deeply in love with a young man named Jim Doty. Their romance blossomed during a time when Norma was still navigating her early years, filled with dreams and aspirations. June 19, 1942, marked a significant day for the couple as they exchanged vows, promising to support and cherish one another. However, their happiness was short-lived. Fate intervened when Jim was inducted into the military, which forced Norma to enter the workforce to support herself. This shift in their lives brought challenges that would test their love. Norma, determined to make a name for herself, began to pursue a career in modeling and acting, which would eventually lead her to become one of the most iconic figures in Hollywood history. Despite the distance and the demands of their separate lives, the memories of their first love lingered in her heart, shaping her journey in ways she could not have imagined. After starting her career at a weapons plant during World War II, Norma Jean, who would later become known as Marilyn Monroe, caught the attention of a photographer. He believed she had the potential to be a successful model and reached out to her with a request to take pictures. This opportunity marked a significant turning point in her life, as it opened the door to the modeling and acting world. However, despite this promising development, Norma felt a sense of disappointment. She had been let down before, particularly by her then-husband, James Dougherty, known as Doty. Their marriage, which had begun with hope, was strained and ultimately unfulfilling for her. The pressures of her burgeoning career and the emotional distance in their relationship led to a breaking point. In September 1946, Norma and Doty decided to end their marriage, marking a new chapter in her life as she began to pursue her dreams in the entertainment industry with renewed focus and determination. In 1947, rumors began to swirl around Marilyn Monroe and her alleged affair with Charlie Chaplin Jr. This relationship reportedly ended when Chaplin claimed he found Marilyn in bed with his brother, Sidney Chaplin. The scandal captured public attention, as Marilyn was already a prominent figure in Hollywood. The affair was later mentioned by Charlie Chaplin Jr. in his autobiography published in 1960, where he reflected on his experiences and relationships during that time. Additionally, the romance was discussed by author Anthony Summers in his book Goddess, The Secret Life of Marilyn Monroe, which delves into the complexities of Marilyn's life and her many relationships. This particular affair added to the intrigue surrounding Marilyn, who was often portrayed as a glamorous yet troubled star. The details of her personal life, including this brief romance, contributed to the public's fascination with her, making her one of the most iconic figures in film history. The intertwining of her life with notable personalities like the Chaplin brothers only deepened the narrative of her enigmatic existence. Charlie Chaplin shares a fascinating glimpse into his life in his 1960 book, My Father. On page 320, he recalls a young girl who made a significant impression on his father. This girl was Norma Jean, who would later become known as Marilyn Monroe. At the time, she was just 21 years old and was an appealing little obscure starlet under contract with 20th Century Fox. Chaplin's mention of her highlights the early stages of her career, a time when she was still finding her footing in the competitive world of Hollywood. Norma Jean's journey from a little-known actress to an iconic figure in cinema is remarkable. She faced numerous challenges, including personal struggles and the pressures of fame. Yet, her charm and talent shone through, capturing the hearts of audiences around the world. Chaplin's recognition of her potential at such an early age speaks volumes about her charisma and the impact she would eventually have on the film industry. As she transitioned from Norma Jean to Marilyn Monroe, she became a symbol of beauty and glamour, leaving an indelible mark on popular culture. Her legacy continues to influence aspiring actors and actresses today, reminding us of the power of perseverance and the magic of cinema. On the set of Ladies of the Chorus in 1948, Marilyn Monroe first met Milton Berle, a prominent comedian of the time. Their initial acquaintance sparked interest, and Berle claimed to have had a brief affair with actress Adele Jurgens, although he and Monroe were never formally linked romantically. Years later, in the 1960 film, Let's Make Love, Monroe starred alongside Berle, who was known as the first television celebrity. His reputation for being famously endowed was noted by Truman Capote, and became part of Hollywood folklore. The film's title, Let's Make Love, took on a rather cynical tone, especially as it was released during a turbulent time in Monroe's life. Her marriage to playwright Arthur Miller was nearing its end, adding a layer of complexity to her performance. The film showcased Monroe's charm and comedic talent, while also reflecting the challenges she faced in her personal life. The collaboration between Monroe and Berle became a notable moment in her career, intertwining their paths in the world of entertainment. In his memoirs, Milton Berle shared his thoughts on Marilyn Monroe during her rise in Hollywood. He noted that there was nothing cheap about her, emphasizing that she was not just another starlet in town. Unlike many others who might be easily dismissed after a single encounter, Marilyn had a depth that set her apart. Berle observed that while she may not have fully understood her own identity, she was acutely aware of her worth. This self-awareness gave her a sense of respect for herself that was evident to those around her. Marilyn carried herself with a grace that distinguished her from the crowd, embodying the qualities of a true lady. Her presence in Hollywood was marked by a blend of charm and strength, making her a figure of admiration rather than mere objectification. Berle's reflections highlight the complexity of her character, revealing that beneath the glamorous exterior lay a woman who demanded respect and recognition in an industry often known for its superficiality. In 1948, Marilyn Monroe met her cherished drama instructor when she accepted a short-lived contract with Columbia Pictures. This meeting sparked rumors of a romance, as the two were almost inseparable both on and off the set. Their close relationship drew attention and speculation, leading many to wonder about the nature of their bond. By 1956, the two had their ultimate reconciliation, which was significant in light of the ongoing reports regarding Monroe's alleged lesbian relationships. These rumors included claims about her connections with notable actresses like Marlene Dietrich and Barbara Stanwyck. Monroe addressed these controversies in her 1954 book, where she firmly declared that she had no love relationship with either woman. This statement seemed to settle the speculation surrounding her personal life, allowing her to focus on her career and the relationships that truly mattered to her. The complexities of her life and the scrutiny she faced only added to her enigmatic persona, making her a fascinating figure in Hollywood history. Kazan acknowledged that he had an affair with a young Monroe during his marriage to writer Molly Thatcher. In recently discovered private letters to Thatcher, Kazan admitted to sleeping with the actress, saying, "I'm not sorry." He went on to express that he was not ashamed at all, not a damn bit of having been attracted to her. Kazan's reflections reveal a complex view of Monroe, stating that she was nothing like what she appears to be now, or even appears to have turned into now. He described her as a little stray cat, suggesting a sense of vulnerability and wildness that he found appealing. This portrayal contrasts sharply with the glamorous image that Monroe later became known for. Kazan's candidness in these letters sheds light on the personal and intimate side of their relationship, revealing a deeper understanding of Monroe beyond her public persona. His words capture a moment in time when both he and Monroe were navigating their own struggles and desires, making their connection all the more poignant. The letters serve as a reminder of the complexities of human relationships, especially in the world of fame and artistry. During the early 1960s, Marilyn Monroe became intertwined with the lives of the Kennedy brothers, particularly President John F. Kennedy and his brother, Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. One of the most notable moments that fueled rumors of an affair was Monroe's sultry performance of Happy Birthday for President Kennedy at his 45th birthday celebration. This event took place on May 19, 1962, at Madison Square Garden, where Monroe's breathy rendition captivated the audience and left a lasting impression. The performance was not just a simple birthday greeting, it was filled with flirtation and charm, leading many to speculate about a deeper connection between Monroe and the president. The timing of this event was significant, as it occurred just months before Monroe's tragic death in August 1962. The rumors surrounding her relationship with the Kennedy brothers intensified after this performance, with many believing that there was more than just a professional relationship between them. The allure of Monroe, combined with her association with the powerful Kennedy family, created a narrative that fascinated the public and the media alike. This connection has remained a topic of intrigue and speculation, highlighting the complexities of Monroe's life and the impact of her relationships with influential figures of her time. The combination of her iconic status and the mystery surrounding her interactions with the Kennedy brothers has left a lasting legacy in American pop culture, making her one of the most discussed figures in history. The whispers of romance and the tragic end of her life only add to the enigma that surrounds Marilyn Monroe and her ties to the Kennedy family. Despite the many theories surrounding the life and death of Marilyn Monroe, author James Spada has made his stance clear. In 2012, he addressed the rumors that connected the Kennedy family to Monroe's tragic end. Spada firmly stated that there is no concrete evidence linking the Kennedys to her death. However, he did not shy away from discussing the nature of Monroe's relationships with both President John F. Kennedy and his brother, Robert Kennedy. He pointed out that it was evident Marilyn had sexual relations with both men. This revelation adds a layer of complexity to her life, as it intertwines her with two of the most powerful figures in American history. The allure of Monroe has always been tied to her relationships, and the speculation about her connections to the Kennedys only deepens the intrigue surrounding her legacy. Spada's insights contribute to the ongoing conversation about Monroe, highlighting the intersection of fame, power, and personal relationships in her life. 6 months into retirement, Joe DiMaggio saw Marilyn Monroe as a beautiful blonde showgirl who might also be a devoted mother and homemaker. According to Monroe biographer Donald Spado, the baseball legend first met the 26-year-old actress on a blind date in 1952. DiMaggio admired her, likening their connection to a good double-play combination. He was pleasantly surprised to discover that Monroe shared his dreams of having a house and children. This common ground sparked a connection between them that went beyond the glitz of Hollywood and the fame of baseball. DiMaggio, known for his stoic demeanor on the field, found himself drawn to Monroe's charm and vivacity. Their relationship was marked by both passion and challenges as they navigated the complexities of their public lives and personal desires. DiMaggio's admiration for Monroe was genuine, and he envisioned a life together that included family and stability, a stark contrast to the chaotic world of fame that surrounded them. The blend of their aspirations created a unique bond that captivated both of them, even as they faced the pressures of their respective careers. They were married on January 14, 1954, in a low-key ceremony at San Francisco City Hall. The union between Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio was marked by excitement, but also by underlying tensions. DiMaggio, once the biggest star in the room, found himself increasingly irritated by his wife's rapid rise to fame. As Monroe's popularity soared, particularly after her iconic performance in The 7-Year Itch, DiMaggio struggled with feelings of jealousy and insecurity. The public's fascination with Monroe only intensified, and DiMaggio, who had been a celebrated baseball player, felt overshadowed. This shift in dynamics created complications in their marriage. Just 9 months after their wedding, the couple faced insurmountable challenges, leading to their divorce. The split was a reflection of the pressures that fame can bring to personal relationships, highlighting how quickly love can turn into conflict when the spotlight shines too brightly on one partner. I expected a flashy New York sports type, and instead I met this reserved guy who didn't make a pass at me right away, she wrote. He treated me like something special, Marilyn once said about Marlon Brando. Their connection sparked curiosity and speculation among fans and the media. After Monroe's divorce from Joe DiMaggio, and before her marriage to Arthur Miller, rumors circulated that she and Brando had dated briefly in 1955. This period was marked by a sense of freedom for Monroe, who was exploring her identity and relationships. Brando, known for his intense acting style and charisma, seemed to offer a different kind of companionship. Their rumored romance was intriguing, as both were iconic figures in Hollywood, yet they had contrasting personalities. While Monroe was often seen as the quintessential blonde bombshell, Brando was the brooding method actor. The dynamic between them was a blend of admiration and mystery, leaving many to wonder what truly happened behind the scenes. Their brief encounter, whether romantic or platonic, added another layer to the complex tapestry of Monroe's life and relationships. The whispers of their time together lingered, fueling the fascination with both stars and their legacies in the film industry. Marlon Brando and Marilyn Monroe shared a unique bond during their time in Hollywood. They collaborated on the screenplay for Henry Koster's film Desiree, which was released in 1954. This partnership was not just professional. The two actors got along incredibly well, forming a friendship that was notable in an industry often filled with competition and rivalry. Their chemistry extended beyond the writing room, as Brando took Monroe to the premiere of his film The Rose Tattoo, showcasing their camaraderie. This gesture highlighted the mutual respect and admiration they had for each other as artists. Both Brando and Monroe were iconic figures of their time, each bringing their own distinct style and charisma to the screen. Their collaboration on Desiree remains a fascinating chapter in the history of cinema, illustrating how two of the greatest stars of the era could come together creatively. The friendship and collaboration between these two legends continue to intrigue fans and historians alike, reflecting a moment of genuine connection in the glamorous yet often isolating world of Hollywood. When Marilyn Monroe first met the author and playwright in 1950 on the set of As Young as You Feel, she felt an instant connection, claiming it was love at first sight. Their friendship blossomed, but it was not until 1955 that they reunited. By then, Monroe had moved to New York City from Hollywood and had divorced Joe DiMaggio. Their bond deepened during this time as they shared their struggles and dreams. Monroe's life was often tumultuous, marked by her battles with drug addiction and the pressures of fame. Despite these challenges, the two remained close friends. In February 1961, as Monroe faced her own demons, the actor wrote a heartfelt letter of love to her before checking himself into a mental health facility in New York. This letter symbolized the depth of their friendship and the care they had for one another, even in the face of personal struggles. Their connection was a testament to the complexities of love and friendship amid the chaos of their lives. They started dating in secret, which added an air of excitement to their relationship. Marilyn Monroe and Arthur Miller were married in 1956 in New York. This union marked a significant shift in Monroe's life. She enjoyed a more normal life outside of the Hollywood spotlight, embracing domesticity in a way that was new for her. Caring for Miller's children became a central part of her daily routine, and she took pride in cooking, cleaning, and nurturing them. This role allowed her to experience a sense of family that she had longed for. In a notable change, Marilyn converted to Judaism, reflecting her commitment to Miller and his beliefs. Their marriage was a blend of love and complexity, as both were prominent figures in their respective fields. Monroe's desire for a stable home life contrasted with the pressures of her fame, creating a unique dynamic in their relationship. The couple navigated the challenges of their public personas while trying to build a private life together. When she returned to work on Miller's The Misfits, things did not go as planned. Marilyn Monroe's drug addiction began to take a toll on her life, affecting both her personal relationships and her professional commitments. The pressures of filming, combined with her struggles, created a challenging environment on set. Monroe's performance was often hindered by her inability to cope with the demands of the role, leading to delays and frustrations for the cast and crew. Her marriage to playwright Arthur Miller, which had been a source of support, started to unravel under the weight of these issues. Just before the film's release in 1961, Monroe and Miller divorced, marking a significant turning point in her life. The film itself, while notable, became overshadowed by the turmoil surrounding its production and Monroe's personal struggles. Tragically, just 19 months later, she died of an overdose, a heartbreaking end to a life filled with both brilliance and pain. Following her divorce from Arthur Miller, Marilyn Monroe found herself in a brief relationship with Frank Sinatra, famously known as Old Blue Eyes. During this time, Monroe stayed at Sinatra's home for a while, seeking comfort and companionship after her tumultuous marriage. Sinatra, who was captivated by Monroe's charm and beauty, even proposed to her. However, despite this romantic gesture, the two decided to remain friends rather than pursue a deeper relationship. Their bond was strong, and they maintained a friendship until Monroe's untimely death in 1997. Tony Appadisano, in his book Sinatra and Me in the Wee Small Hours, sheds light on their connection, claiming that while Monroe and Sinatra were indeed close friends, they were never romantically involved. This perspective adds an interesting layer to their relationship, suggesting that their feelings for each other were rooted in friendship and mutual respect rather than romance. Sinatra's thoughts on Monroe reflect a deep admiration for her talent and beauty, highlighting the complexity of their relationship during a time when both were navigating the challenges of fame and personal struggles. In a 2011 interview with GQ, Jerry Lewis revealed that he had a covert romantic relationship with Marilyn Monroe. This admission added a layer of intrigue to Monroe's already complex personal life. known for her charm, Monroe captivated nearly everyone she met, yet not all were enchanted. Tony Curtis, her co-star in the 1959 film Some Like It Hot, was reportedly not impressed with her. Despite their on-screen chemistry, there have been long-standing rumors suggesting that Monroe and Curtis had a contentious relationship during filming. Their interactions were marked by tension, leading many to believe that they disliked each other. This dynamic on set contrasted sharply with Monroe's usual ability to win over her co-stars. The behind-the-scenes drama of Some Like It Hot has become a part of Hollywood lore, illustrating the complexities of Monroe's relationships with the men in her life. The stories of her connections, both romantic and professional, continue to fascinate and provoke discussion among fans and historians alike. Curtis once made a striking comparison, suggesting that kissing Marilyn Monroe felt akin to kissing Hitler. This bold statement reflected the complex feelings he had about their relationship. In his 2009 memoirs, Curtis opened up about a passionate love affair he had with Monroe during the early 1950s. Their romance was filled with intense emotions and a deep connection that captivated both of them. Despite the challenges they faced, including the pressures of fame and the scrutiny of the public eye, their bond was significant. Curtis's memoirs reveal the struggles and joys of being involved with one of Hollywood's most iconic figures. He described moments of tenderness and vulnerability, showcasing a side of Monroe that many did not see. Their relationship was not just a fleeting romance. It was a profound experience that left a lasting impact on both their lives. The complexities of their affair, combined with Curtis's controversial remarks, paint a vivid picture of the tumultuous world they navigated together. When Marilyn first met Clark Gable in 1960 on the set of The Misfits, she felt an instant connection to the Hollywood legend. Gable, known for his rugged charm and powerful performances, represented a figure of strength and masculinity that Marilyn had longed for in her life. She often viewed him as the father she never had, someone who could provide the guidance and support she craved. Their interactions on set were filled with warmth and admiration, and it was clear that Marilyn was enamored with Gable. As filming progressed, rumors began to swirl about the nature of their relationship. Many speculated that the two shared a passionate bond, enjoying each other's company in a way that went beyond mere friendship. The atmosphere on set was charged with excitement, and whispers of their wild times together added to the allure of the film. Tragically, just before Gable passed away from a heart attack, the world was left to wonder about the depth of their connection. The combination of Marilyn's vulnerability and Gable's iconic status created a poignant moment in Hollywood history, leaving a lasting impression on those who followed their lives and careers. Author David Brett maintains in his biography Clark Gable, Tormented Star, that the rumors about Marilyn Monroe's behavior were untrue. Many people have speculated about the nature of her relationships with various Hollywood stars, including Clark Gable. However, Brett argues that Gable was not interested in Monroe, not because of her talent or beauty, but due to her disregard for personal hygiene. This perspective challenges the often romanticized view of Monroe as a seductress who captured the hearts of many men in the film industry. Instead, it paints a picture of a woman whose personal habits may have overshadowed her allure in the eyes of one of Hollywood's leading men. The idea that Gable, a man known for his rugged charm and charisma, would be put off by Monroe's lack of attention to cleanliness adds a layer of complexity to the narrative surrounding their potential connection. It suggests that behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, personal issues could significantly impact relationships, even among the most famous stars. This insight into Gable's view of Monroe offers a different angle on her legacy, highlighting how personal choices can influence public perception and relationships in the world of fame. In 2019, a significant revelation emerged when a 72-year-old woman named Nancy Miracle claimed on her deathbed that she was the secret daughter of Marilyn Monroe. This shocking announcement stirred interest and speculation about the life of the iconic actress. Nancy's claim added a new layer to the already complex narrative surrounding Monroe, who was known for her beauty, talent, and tumultuous personal life. The idea of a hidden child raised questions about Monroe's relationships and the choices she made throughout her life. Adding to the intrigue, Monroe's biographer, Norman Mailer, made a bold assertion that the star had undergone 12 abortions before the age of 29. This claim painted a picture of a woman grappling with the pressures of fame and the challenges of motherhood. It suggested that Monroe faced difficult decisions in her pursuit of a career in Hollywood, where societal expectations often conflicted with personal desires. The combination of Nancy Miracle's revelation and Mailer's claims invites deeper reflection on Monroe's legacy, her struggles, and the impact of her choices on her life and career. After an unsuccessful audition at Paramount, Marilyn Monroe found a new opportunity when she was signed to a 6-month contract at 20th Century Fox. This pivotal moment in her career came about thanks to Emmeline Snively, who played a significant role in introducing her to the acting industry in June 1946. With her career beginning to take shape, Marilyn sought to create a memorable stage name that would resonate with audiences. In August 1946, she collaborated with Fox executive Ben Lyon to choose the name Marilyn Monroe. The first name, Marilyn, was inspired by the famous Broadway star Marilyn Miller, a nod to the world of theater that had captivated her. The surname Monroe was taken from her mother's maiden name, connecting her to her roots and personal history. This new identity marked the beginning of her transformation into one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, setting the stage for her rise to fame and the lasting legacy she would leave in the film industry. While living on the Fox lot, she dedicated 6 months to training as an actress, singer, and dancer. This period of intense preparation paid off when she secured a new contract with Fox, which included a remarkable incentive of $100,000. This contract also granted her a leading role in the film The 7-Year Itch, a significant milestone in her career that showcased her talent and charm. However, her personal life was not without complications. Charlie Chaplin Sr. claimed that the relationship between Marilyn and his son, Charlie Jr., ended abruptly when Charlie Jr. allegedly caught Marilyn in bed with his brother. This incident added a layer of drama to her already tumultuous life, intertwining her professional achievements with personal controversies. The complexities of her relationships and the pressures of fame often overshadowed her artistic accomplishments, making her story one of both triumph and turmoil. After her 6-month contract expired, Marilyn Monroe hoped her days on the casting couch would soon end. This hope was short-lived when another studio executive, Harry Cohn, approached her with the same dirty deal to renew her contract. Cohn was known for his aggressive tactics and had a reputation for exploiting young actresses. Marilyn, determined to stand her ground, refused his advances. She wanted to be recognized for her talent, and not as a means to an end. However, her refusal came with consequences. The studio, displeased with her decision, promptly declined to offer her another 6-month contract. This left Marilyn in a precarious position, as she was trying to navigate the treacherous waters of Hollywood while maintaining her dignity. The casting couch was a harsh reality for many actresses, and Marilyn's experience highlighted the struggles women faced in the film industry during that era. Her resilience in the face of such challenges would later become a significant part of her legacy. As an aspiring actress, Marilyn Monroe faced numerous challenges, including the predatory behavior of powerful men in the film industry. One of the most notable figures was Joe Schenck, the chairman of 20th Century Fox. At the age of 69, Schenck wielded significant influence over Marilyn's career. He awarded her a contract, but it came with a troubling condition. Marilyn was expected to service him whenever he called, placing her in a vulnerable position. This kind of exploitation was not uncommon in Hollywood during that era, where young actresses often found themselves at the mercy of older, powerful men. The pressure to succeed in a competitive industry made it difficult for many women to refuse such demands. Marilyn's experience highlights the darker side of fame and the sacrifices some women felt they had to make to achieve their dreams. The impact of these predatory relationships on her life and career was profound, shaping her experiences in the industry and contributing to the complexities of her legacy. Despite her stunning beauty, Marilyn Monroe's journey to the top was fraught with difficulties. In 1949, after years of modeling and small film roles, she found herself broke and desperate for work and money. This challenging period pushed her to make a bold decision. To survive financially, she posed in a series of risque nude photos for John Baumgart's calendars. Under the name Mona Monroe, she embraced this opportunity, which was a significant departure from her previous work. These photographs captured her allure and vulnerability, showcasing a side of her that was both daring and controversial. At that time, Monroe was not yet the iconic figure she would later become, and these images played a crucial role in her career. They helped her gain attention and open doors to more significant roles in Hollywood. The decision to pose nude was not just about the money. It was also a statement of her desire to be seen and recognized in an industry that often overlooked her talent. The photos became part of her complex legacy, intertwining her image with themes of beauty, sexuality, and the struggles of a woman trying to find her place in a demanding world. Marilyn underwent two grueling cosmetic surgeries that significantly altered her appearance. The first was a chin implant, which aimed to enhance the shape of her face and give her a more defined jawline. The second procedure was a rhinoplasty, specifically designed to alter the tip of her nose. These surgeries were part of her quest for beauty and perfection in an industry that often demanded such transformations. In addition to these surgical changes, Marilyn began using hormone cream to whiten her already pale skin. This cream had an unexpected side effect, as it caused light blonde hair to sprout all over her face. This added a layer of complexity to her beauty routine, as she had to manage the new hair growth while maintaining her iconic look. Marilyn's commitment to her appearance reflected the pressures of Hollywood and the lengths to which she would go to fit the ideal image of beauty at the time. Her choices highlight the intense scrutiny and expectations placed on actresses, especially in an era when physical appearance was paramount in the film industry. Hearing voices from her acting coach became a troubling experience for Marilyn Monroe. She shared that these voices suggested things to her, and she felt that this had a negative impact on her mental state and her work. This struggle added to the pressures she faced in her career. In 1950, Marilyn was in a relationship with her agent, Johnny Hyde. They had been together for 2 years, and he played a significant role in her life and career. Johnny was 55 years old when he unexpectedly passed away from a heart attack. His sudden death left Marilyn devastated. She had relied on him not just as an agent, but also as a source of support and guidance. The loss of Johnny was a heavy blow for her, compounding the challenges she was already facing. The combination of hearing voices and the grief from losing Johnny created a difficult period in her life, affecting her both personally and professionally. After the tragic death of her mentor, Lee Strasberg, Marilyn Monroe faced immense emotional turmoil. Her acting instructor found her one day asleep on her bed with 30 sleeping pills in her mouth. This was not the first time Marilyn had attempted to take her own life. In previous instances, she had tried to end her suffering, but had not taken enough pills to succeed. These attempts reflected her deep struggles with mental health and the pressures of fame. Alongside her emotional battles, Marilyn also dealt with severe physical pain due to endometriosis. This condition caused her excruciating discomfort during her monthly menstruation. To accommodate her health issues, a provision in her contract allowed her to miss work when she was on her period. This arrangement highlighted the challenges she faced both personally and professionally as she navigated the demands of Hollywood while grappling with her physical and emotional pain. Marilyn Monroe had a deep desire for children that often influenced her life choices. This longing was so intense that during a surgery, she attached a letter to her tummy, pleading with the doctors not to remove her ovaries. This act reflected her desperation to become a mother, showcasing how much she yearned for a family of her own. Amidst her struggles with this desire, her romantic life was quite active and tumultuous. She dated several prominent figures in the entertainment industry, including the talented actor Yul Brynner and the charming Peter Lawford. Her relationships extended to influential directors like Nicholas Ray and Elia Kazan, each bringing their own complexities to her life. These partnerships were often rocky, filled with the ups and downs that came with her fame and personal challenges. Marilyn's quest for love and family was intertwined with her career, making her story one of both aspiration and heartache. In 1952, Marilyn Monroe's agent arranged a meeting with the retired baseball legend Joe DiMaggio, who was famous for his time with the New York Yankees. This meeting sparked a romance that captivated the public and the media. Despite DiMaggio's past, including his ex-wife, actress Dorothy Arnold, who had filed for divorce in 1943, citing cruel indifference, Marilyn found herself deeply in love with him. Their relationship was intense and passionate, marked by both joy and turmoil. DiMaggio was known for his strong personality, and he often struggled with the pressures of Monroe's fame. Their love story was filled with ups and downs as they navigated the challenges of their respective careers and personal lives. Marilyn's affection for Joe was evident, and she often spoke of him with admiration. Their bond, though complicated, left a lasting impression on both of their lives, showcasing the intersection of Hollywood glamour and the world of sports. The romance between Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio remains a fascinating chapter in the history of both figures, illustrating the complexities of love in the spotlight. In January of 1954, Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio made a bold decision to elope to San Francisco. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, filled with both excitement and challenges. Shortly after their wedding, Marilyn traveled to Korea to perform for U.S. soldiers, showcasing her dedication to entertaining the troops. Following her performances, the couple enjoyed their honeymoon in Japan, a trip that was meant to be a romantic getaway. However, their time together revealed some differences in their lifestyles and expectations. Joe DiMaggio preferred a quieter life, often spending his days at home watching television, drinking, and smoking. His vision of an ideal bride was someone who would embrace a conventional role as a stay-at-home mom, which contrasted sharply with Marilyn's vibrant and public persona. This clash of ideals would later contribute to the complexities of their relationship, as both struggled to reconcile their dreams with the reality of their marriage. Joe established guidelines to authorize Marilyn Monroe's future roles because he was unhappy with her too sexualized performances. He wanted her to break free from the stereotype of the dumb blonde that had become associated with her. Joe believed that Marilyn had much more to offer as an actress, and that she should not be limited to roles that emphasized her looks over her talent. He felt that she should never appear half-dressed, as he wanted to protect her image and help her evolve into a more serious actress. This desire for change was rooted in his belief that Marilyn could portray deeper, more complex characters that would showcase her range and abilities. By setting these guidelines, Joe aimed to guide her career in a direction that would allow her to be taken seriously in Hollywood. He envisioned a future where Marilyn would be recognized not just for her beauty, but also for her acting skills, paving the way for a more respected and varied career. During the filming of The 7-Year Itch, tensions flared between Marilyn Monroe and her then-husband Joe DiMaggio. On one particular day, DiMaggio lost his temper while she was shooting her scenes. When Marilyn returned to the set the next day, she bore the marks of their conflict. Her arms were swollen with bruises, a stark reminder of the emotional turmoil they were experiencing. This incident highlighted the struggles in their relationship, which was often marked by intense passion and conflict. On the set of River of No Return, Marilyn found solace in an unexpected companion. She would cradle Bandit, a raccoon, during lunch breaks with the crew. This little creature provided her with comfort and a sense of joy amidst the pressures of Hollywood. The sight of Marilyn gently holding Bandit brought a lightheartedness to the set, contrasting sharply with the earlier drama of her marriage. The crew often enjoyed watching her interact with the raccoon, as it showcased a softer side of the iconic actress, one that was often hidden behind the glitz and glamour of her public persona. After marrying Hal Schaefer, her vocal instructor, Marilyn Monroe began to struggle with her mental health. Schaefer was known to be domineering, which contributed to her feelings of insecurity and distress. As a result, she turned to sedatives and alcohol to cope with her emotional turmoil. This period marked a significant decline in her well-being, as she sought solace in substances that ultimately led to further complications in her life. Following her divorce from Schaefer, Marilyn found herself in the midst of another tumultuous relationship with Joe DiMaggio. Despite their separation, DiMaggio could not let go of Marilyn. He would often wait in the foyer of her new residence at the Waldorf Astoria on Park Avenue, sometimes disguised in a false beard, hoping to catch a glimpse of her. His obsessive behavior reflected his deep feelings for her, but it also added to the chaos in her life. Marilyn struggles with addiction, and the harassment from DiMaggio created a challenging environment for her, making it difficult for her to find peace and stability. One night, Joe DiMaggio, along with Frank Sinatra and 5 other men, decided to head to West Hollywood. Fueled by alcohol, they aimed to confront Hal Schaefer, who had been involved with Marilyn Monroe. This group sought to deliver a kind of mafia-style retribution, reflecting the intense emotions surrounding Monroe's relationships. At that time, Monroe was navigating her own romantic life, having recently finalized her divorce from DiMaggio. Shortly after, in October 1955, she began dating the acclaimed author Arthur Miller, who had also just separated from his wife. This new relationship marked a significant shift for Monroe, as she was now linked to a man known for his intellectual prowess and literary achievements. Additionally, Monroe's allure caught the attention of Hollywood's hottest new star, Marlon Brando, further complicating her romantic landscape. The intertwining of these relationships showcased the tumultuous nature of Monroe's life during this period, filled with passion, drama, and the ever-watchful eyes of the public. The studio advised Marilyn Monroe to end her relationship with Arthur Miller due to his ongoing investigation for possible communist activities by the House Un-American Activities Committee and the FBI. This was a turbulent time for Monroe, as she was caught in the crossfire of Hollywood's political climate. Despite the pressures surrounding her personal life, she delivered one of her most iconic performances in the film, Some Like It Hot, which was shot in 1958. This film showcased her comedic talent and charm, solidifying her status as a Hollywood legend. However, behind the scenes, Monroe struggled with her mental health. She relied heavily on drugs to cope with her unstable mental condition and sleeplessness. This dependency affected her work and personal life, leading to a cycle of highs and lows that would haunt her throughout her career. The combination of her tumultuous relationships and her battle with mental health created a complex portrait of a woman who was both a star and a deeply troubled individual. The cast and crew of the film were not fond of Marilyn Monroe. Tensions ran high on set, and the atmosphere was often uncomfortable. Tony Curtis, one of her co-stars, famously remarked that he would rather be kissing Hitler than kissing Marilyn. This comment reflected the frustration and disdain some felt towards her during the production. In response to this unkind sentiment, Marilyn decided to take matters into her own hands. She sought revenge in a rather bold way. She called director Billy Wilder at home, but instead of speaking to him directly, she asked his wife to relay a message. The message was clear and pointed she wanted Wilder to go of himself. This act of defiance showcased her determination to stand up for herself, even in the face of hostility from those around her. Marilyn's actions highlighted the complexities of her relationships in Hollywood, revealing a side of her that was not just the glamorous star, but also a woman who would not tolerate disrespect. The dynamics on set were a reflection of the larger challenges she faced in her career, where her talent was often overshadowed by the perceptions of those around her. The incident with Wilder and Curtis became a part of the narrative surrounding her life, illustrating the struggles she endured in an industry that could be both cruel and unforgiving. Marilyn Monroe was poised to take on the iconic role of Holly Golightly in the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's, a character that would have showcased her charm and allure. However, the studio ultimately decided against signing her for the part. This decision stemmed from concerns about her behavior during the filming of Some Like It Hot. During that production, Marilyn became involved in a highly publicized affair with her married co-star, Yves Montand. This relationship not only attracted media attention, but also led to significant complications in her personal life. As a result of their affair, Marilyn became pregnant with Montand's child, which added to the studio's hesitations about casting her. The combination of her tumultuous personal life and the potential scandal surrounding her pregnancy made the studio wary of her as a leading lady for such a high-profile film. This moment in her career marked a significant turning point, reflecting the challenges she faced both professionally and personally. The Misfits marked a significant moment in Marilyn Monroe's career, yet it turned out to be a total failure. The film, which also starred Clark Gable and Montgomery Clift, was a neo-western that failed to resonate with audiences. Tragically, all three stars would pass away within a few years of the film's premiere, adding a somber note to its legacy. Monroe's life took a dark turn after this film, as she struggled with personal issues and her mental health. On August 5, 1962, her psychologist found her lifeless body at her home in Brentwood, Los Angeles. She was only 36 years old at the time of her death. The scene was haunting. Her phone was still in her hands when she was discovered in bed. This shocking event marked the end of an era for one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate and intrigue the world. Even her ex-lover Marlon Brando believed that Marilyn Monroe was murdered, which adds to the many conspiracy theories that continue to surround her untimely death. The circumstances of her passing have led to speculation and debate, with various theories suggesting foul play or cover-ups involving powerful figures in Hollywood and beyond. This intrigue has kept her story alive in the public consciousness, as people seek to understand the truth behind her tragic end. Her funeral was held at the Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in Los Angeles, a serene location that now serves as her final resting place. The arrangements for her funeral were made by those closest to her, including her former husband Joe DiMaggio, who was deeply affected by her death. DiMaggio, along with her half-sister Bernice and her business manager Inez Melson, worked together to ensure that Marilyn received a dignified farewell. The event was attended by many who admired her, reflecting the impact she had on the world and the love she inspired in those around her. The mystery surrounding her death and the details of her funeral continue to captivate the imagination of fans and historians alike, keeping her legacy alive in the hearts of many. Jean Cocteau expressed a profound sense of tragedy regarding Marilyn Monroe's death, viewing it as a terrible lesson for those who spend their lives spying on and tormenting film stars. He believed that her life, an untimely end, served as a warning about the dangers of obsession and the relentless scrutiny that public figures endure. Laurence Olivier, another prominent figure in the film industry, described Monroe as the complete victim of ballyhoo and sensation. He recognized how the media frenzy surrounding her often overshadowed her true talent and humanity, reducing her to a mere spectacle rather than appreciating her as a skilled actress. Joshua Logan, who directed her in Bus Stop, echoed these sentiments by calling Marilyn one of the most unappreciated people in the world. He saw her as a complex individual whose contributions to cinema were often overlooked, overshadowed by the sensationalism that surrounded her life. This collective reflection from these influential figures highlights the tragic irony of Monroe's existence, where her fame brought both adoration and immense suffering. In 1972, actress Veronica Hamill made a significant purchase when she acquired the former home of the iconic Marilyn Monroe. This house, once filled with the glamour and mystery surrounding Monroe's life, held secrets that would soon come to light. As Hamill settled into her new residence, she stumbled upon a vast network of phone lines hidden within the walls. Intrigued by the discovery, she decided to investigate further. After careful examination, it became clear that these cables were not just ordinary phone lines, they were wiretaps. This revelation added a layer of intrigue to the already storied history of the house. The presence of wiretaps suggested that Monroe's life was under constant surveillance, raising questions about her privacy and the extent to which her personal life was monitored. The discovery not only connected Hamill to the legacy of Monroe, but also opened a window into the darker aspects of fame and the lengths to which people would go to gather information. The house, once a symbol of beauty and stardom, now stood as a reminder of the complexities and challenges faced by those in the public eye. The intertwining of Hamill's life with Monroe's past created a fascinating narrative, highlighting the enduring impact of the legendary actress on those who came after.